Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you? I would love to see who's here first. Thanks for joining. We are calling this our night class. Have you ever taken a night class? Because I've taken sort of evening class, but not night class. Who's here first? Cece in Virginia. What's going on there? It looks like you are showing a storm, like a what is it, snow or rainstorm? Because I've had some storms here in Georgia. Tracy Wu, Rapunzel is also in Hong Kong. Oh, wow. You'll have to tell us. You'll have to let us know. 420. Hello, Wild Dragon. How are you? Thanks for joining. And Molly Moose, thank you so much. You said we love learning the truth and are so thankful for your time and invested in the research. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm having so much fun. Like, I'm learning, like I told you, I've already finished. The book that I told you guys I started, you remember, like it's already done. Look, I'm at the end of it. So I already look at how much I write. I've never written this much. It's both sides of the pages. I write because this is how I learn. I have to inscribe. And, we're learning about all of these earlier technologies in terms of communication. So I understand, like, for some reason, my brain has to do something and connect with my writing and scribing. So it's something so powerful about that. And if you're on Facebook or Twitch, thank you for joining me on either one of those apps and here on YouTube. Yeah, Molly, I'm glad that we are all enjoying because we're learning together. And a lot of people have, again, gotten more into this earlier. So they were early adopters. And look at that, Celestial Structures. Hello, my friend. And you know what? My banner is here. Look at that. Tonight's show is sponsored by Celestial Structures. And you can contact us below if you are in need of a wonderful steel structure solution. Thank you, Marlon, for joining. This should be interesting, okay? I came across some good information I want to share, and I want to get into it with you. Raylene, it looks interesting. Yes, it does, right? Chris, hello. You have your thinking cap on. Oh, good. Dr. EMB, I'm excited. I'm hoping to get the Book of Enoch soon. Good, good. I'll be starting the official Book of Enoch soon. I'm just starting my research, study. Let's see. Helen, hello. Thank you for joining. CW, hello in Southern Cali. This should be interesting for you. Any Cali people, please chime in because this is so wow. I'm overblown, like just blown away by it all. Uma, hello. Thanks for joining. And Tina, oh, you know it. Good evening. Ready for night class. Yay. Phil, not Bill. Good. I'm so glad you all want to hear. Wendy, hello. Thank you so much. This is the real Madre. I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, I'm glad you're here for live. Yay. Laura, hello. You're here for night school. Who's in bed and all cozy? Who has a snack? You're in snowy Alabama, Nancy. Oh, it's snowing in a lot of places. Wow. Deborah, hello. Yay. You have a lot of notebooks filled over the past year. Oh, yes. That's awesome. Hey, E Faith. Hello. You're welcome. You're welcome. Ernestina, thank you in Argentina. Ernestina, thanks, sister. Virtual hug to you. PH Joy, hello. Deborah, North Carolina, snowing. Christine in Riverside, beautiful Riverside. Teresita in Philly. Ooh, love it. Cece, good evening. Yay, meet me. Okay, so I'm going to jump in. Kim, hello. You're cozy in bed. I love it. Hello, sister. Love, lift, laugh. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to jump in. This is a doozy. Oh boy, are you ready? Because I uncovered some crazy stuff. Okay, so let's start the slide presentation of this night class. Okay, Cornelia is here. Hello. Oh, bless you and thank you. And we have Eliana Swift. Hello. Thank you so much. I remember you, Eliana. Thank you for being here. This is so awesome. Okay, so let me make the slides. You know, I love this new feature here. Bam. All right, so you know me. I told you I feel like I'm doing arts and crafts when I do these thumbnails. It's like when you used to do your, collages. Okay, so I picked some things that are going to, get us thinking about a few things because I have questions. I mean, I have more questions and I want to go down more roads and see how they will lead and connect. Okay, so let me tell you, this should be very different. I don't know what else to say. Very different. Okay. So I named it Calafia, Queen of California. Does anybody know about Calafia? Calafia. I don't know how you would pronounce it. Women Memoirs of Life. Oh, I love that name. Some names are just so like powerful. They grab you. Thank you. You are fabulous. I love that name. It has like this energy you came into the chatmosphere with. It's a blessing. Thank you for coming here today and joining us. So has anyone ever heard of Queen Calafia of California? Anybody? Let me know. Hello, Shauna. Thank you for joining. Have you heard of Queen Calafia or Calafia? If I'm not saying her name right, just let me know. You've heard of her. Okay, you have heard of her. Good. Well, I'm glad because I have heard of her, but I was not aware of her. And I never heard anyone talk about this particular subject too much. Maybe I've just been that much under a rock that I just never had an inkling, as they say, to look her up and see what is the deal with it. Hey, you haven't heard of her? Okay. So it's kind of good when we're kind of at the same place where it's just going to be interesting to do this together. Allison, I'm happy you're here. Thank you. Okay, so let's just go on a little journey. We're going to go through some Antiquitech, some architecture. So get ready to go on a little trip. Okay. Hope you have your snacks ready. Okay. So here we are. Bam. I'm showing you this to let you know that sometimes this is how my journeys begin. I know you can relate. That's why we are all bonded together. I happen to be one of these people. I know, like, people in my family tease me. I try to do my best to eat the best I can, and choose or, just be mindful about what I eat. I always want to read the ingredients. I've become quite the, I can't stand certain things, so I get on my soapbox. Some of you probably know this if you've known me for a while. High fructose corn syrup, I think, is the devil, just about the devil. And what is the other thing I can't stand when I see it? Okay, so high fructose corn syrup sends me over the edge. Then there's why am I not canola oil? Okay, I can't stand the idea of canola oil. If you like canola oil, fine. Maybe you could sell me on what is a canola and why do we need it? Because why can't we have oils that I know, okay, that's an olive, so that comes from the olive, or this is a vegetable, this oil comes from a coconut. You get what I'm saying? What is a canola? Chris, do you know? Can you help me? What's a canola? I don't like seeing it in everything, canola oil. So, okay, I'm not going to go on a rant because I can get taken away with these kind of things. But anyway, I tried it. Well, I don't process milk very well, so I have to get milk alternatives. So there are very nice alternatives on the market, as you know, walnut milk, oat milk, almond milk, coconut. I mean, so many options. You know, you probably could throw in your alternative. Here we are. The doctor has a description. Canola oil. Ready? Okay, it is oil seed, rape seed. Okay, don't get triggered, people. This is rape seed. You've probably just look it up. It's not, bad. Of a variety developed in Canada. Sorry to our Canadian family, and grown in North America, it yields a valuable culinary oil. Okay, thank you. Well, I just don't trust it. Okay, and it has nothing to do with Canada. It's just that I I don't trust why it's in everything. It cropped up. I don't remember it when I was growing up, canola oil, right? So what's the deal? So I just don't trust it. But anyway, what was I going to say? Okay, so I okay, I get almond milk, and so this was a little bottle of almond milk creamer for coffee. So it comes from a company, and you buy the brand and you've been doing it, but you never thought about it. It's like I buy this Calafia Farms, right? And so I'm like, Calafia Farms. So because I'm on this mud flood journey, everything just sticks out, right? So, do you all know about this brand? Have you ever bought this brand? Oh, you're Canadian? Okay, so okay, well, no personal feelings, please, okay? We just want to know, what is a canola. You let me know it comes from the rapeseed. So it's supposed to be healthy or what? Cuz I've heard like two sides to it. But we could talk about that another time. But okay, so this is the creamer, and your crazy sister this time around looked at the bottle and said, "Oh, I think I need to look this up." And lo and behold, it started a whole thing. And that's why we are here talking about Calafia, Queen of California tonight, okay? And oh, before I go there, let me just stop this share to show you. If you go to their website, I just want you to see something, because I happen to go to the company's website. All right, so look at this. If you just, it'll save you a trip if you're that kind of person who wants to look up their website. Okay, Calafia Farms. Calafia Farms pronounced, oh, good, they have a pronunciation, Calafia. Oh, Calafia. Calafia. Calufia. Calufia. Okay, I'm going to just say it how I feel like it, if that's okay. So, just like our California home, we're named after the legend of Queen Calafia. Our plant-based, dairy-free products are oh so easy to love, with all the flavor and versatility you deserve. That was like a plug, and I don't know. It'd be nice if they sent me a few bottles of this creamer, okay? So there you are. They are telling us that they named the product after the Queen of California. Who knew? Who would have known, right? Laura saying, I drink almond and oat milk. I hope Calafia is good because I do get that milk and creamer. Oh, good. Okay. I haven't found anything wrong with the product. Okay. So it's just that was what sparked my research. But the product is fine. I've been happy with it. I've not had any problems with it at all. Okay, so justice is now. Well, thank you for joining. Extra virgin olive oil is good for your heart and arteries. Yes, yes. So let me go back to the slides. I just wanted you just to see their website, just to see that there are lots of interesting things going on here. Connects. Okay, so let's go on and talk about this guy. Do you guys know about him? This is Hernando Cortes. Hernando Cortes. Who knows about him? If we were to do like a Jeopardy round, would you all be able to answer any questions about Hernando Cortes? Anyone? Johnny is here. Hi, Johnny. I've tried their coffee and went back to chock full of nuts. Okay. All right. Nice. So, all right. So, Hernando Cortes, I remember back in my elementary school days, there was a really great it was a series and they covered every explorer. Of course, they make them sound fabulous. So all of the explorers, they did this extended amount of, I guess it was like a documentary style thing, and I had to watch it for school, and it was done really well. Like it was on one of those channels that was more educational, so I remember hearing about him and a lot of the other so-called explorers. And then, of course, in history class, I wasn't so engaged when we had to go over this stuff. I had so-so teachers. Some history teachers were pretty good, but I think you have to be really, I don't know, into it to teach it to children, anyway. But okay, so let me just tell you, his name is also Hernan. You'll see Cortez with a Z sometimes. So he was influenced by a book, and I'm going to tell you about this book, okay? About Calafia, Queen Calafia of California. Okay, so this particular explorer, he was a Spanish conquistador, okay? So the conquistadors, they were there to explore. Yes, a conquistador explorer. And they said he was the cause. Okay, check this out. He was the cause of the fall of the Aztec Empire. So that's pretty big. So I think we should kind of put a pin in him that he's a big deal. He's a big deal when it comes to bad guys like Corn Pop and those guys, right? Jim, hello. Yes, so he was the reason that the Aztec Empire fell. Wowzer. So he, as a conquistador, if this is a new kind of word, just a refresher. Nobody is so smart here. This is remedial invisible college, okay? Nobody has a chip on their shoulder. We've all been lied to. I've lost some friends over, I think they probably don't like the name, like remedial college. Sorry, but we don't take ourselves that serious. It is remedial for me. Okay, I don't know about you, but I have to unlearn as I'm learning. It's quite an ordeal. So anyway, a conquistador is an invader, is a knight. You know how they say someone was knighted? Was a soldier. These are all other, names for a conquistador. An explorer. Okay? And they engage in massacres. Here and there. He is credited with founding the Americas. Okay? Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah. So you know the drill. You already know the drill by now. Has something to do with, well, actually, he shifts the timeline. He jumps a little bit forward. We're saying going forward in time, back in time, forward and back, whatever. Time is not linear. But okay, he's more around 1500s. I'll say if anybody wants to correct me, yeah, you can drink coffee in class and smoke. This is the kind of college this is. You can be in your pajamas. You can be on your phone. You could be watching TV while you're in this class. You could do whatever you want. You could turn it off. You can withdraw. No withdrawal papers. Look at that. You could just withdraw. That it's the easiest invisible college ever. So, yeah, same drill. The queen sends people over, her gang. They go over and loot and pillage and rape and everything, okay? So, and Jesuits kind of comes up. Hate this for the Catholics, right? But again, we all have to just get out of our feelings, because if you are like me, we're not in the club, so it doesn't matter. Every group on earth has been infiltrated, so we're not in the club, as the comedian used to say. So be happy. If you're a Catholic person and you're sincere about your faith, we're not talking about you. None of this is about the average person. It's about the leadership at the top. Can we agree on that at least? Like, because I know sometimes my Catholic friends have been really touchy about any talk about the Catholic Church, but we have to talk about the Catholic Church when we go back and do history, because they're all through all through the history, historical narratives. And it's not like you're just making it up. They literally say it when you look up the history, that they're Jesuits, the Society of Jesus, or they call them the Society of Christ. It's the same group. So just want to establish that. Okay, so this dude is the reason that the Aztec Empire crumbled. So, I mean, here are just, artist renderings of just how bloody and violent the wars were in that area, which we already know a little bit that they were that way, but I think it gets missed a bit, because I mean, I did all of this studying in school. I'm a product of the Philadelphia public school system. But I'm just saying, like, I just didn't put things together. It just wasn't clicking. Yes, Herschel Sanders. Hello, Herschel Sanders. George Carlin. Yes, the big club. Yes, thank you for adding that. Yes, Alexandra. No religion here. This class to identify lies and learn truth. Exactly. Thank you for saying that. And you know what? This is the kind of class discussion. We're doing a group project. Anybody can be here. If you are angry at God and I had strayed away from my faith, my path. I came back, I came back through the whole patriot movement. So things can happen where you take a little turn, and it says in the word, you raise a child up in the way that he or she should go, and they will depart. They'll stray, but they won't depart. That's it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I've done a lot of straying, so I'm back. All right. So I'm repatriating. Okay. It's a process. Okay. Repatriation is a process. Okay. So, yeah, these wars were pretty, you can look at and this is just a drawing, and it looks violent and yucky. But yeah. You know how Queen Victoria, they said that her favorite line is, "We are not amused." Well, I want to say we are not amused either, okay? Because this is getting crazy to see the connections everywhere, okay? We are not amused either, Queen, whoever you are. on the throne, whatever throne you've usurped somewhere, because that's another overall theme in learning about these kingdoms that are post-diluvian. Okay, so it's really interesting to me to learn about the antediluvian period before the fall, before the flood, after the fall, which is after they had to be evicted from the garden. So then we have now the post-diluvian society. So remember my last live stream I shared with you, I caught a really awesome podcast where the gentleman was saying that, I told you his theory, and he's done a lot of research, okay? So his theory is that Cain survived the flood just as Noah and his lineage survived the flood. Cain survived also, because the Nephilim gave Cain the information to go to a particular part of the world that he could survive a flood. So that would mean going into the earth, inner earth, finally, for all of us fans of all of that now it starts to maybe not be so out there, okay? Not so much a fairy tale. If it says that he wandered on the face of the earth, then that is above. So that doesn't mean that he could not have gone below. So I think this makes perfect sense, because it explains why we have this group of people that hate humanity so much, right? Where did they come from? Where did they get to be so evil? Well, because they're the line of Cain, and they had to have survived the flood somehow. So I just want to repeat that, because it'll just, make sense to the conversation if you didn't see the previous live stream. So I bring up these Kangs, we say we was Kangs. And by the way, all of us who loved all this, we was kings and we was queens. Let me tell you, being a queen or a king, it is a lot of responsibility. It is not to be taken lightly. You have to be properly anointed, meaning that this is your proper assignment to take on leadership such as a king. And if people knew what it entailed, they wouldn't just throw it around or want to just act like your people, your family were all kings. Not everybody was a king. And again, anybody who is in leadership, whether it be religious, whatever, business leadership, family leadership, will be judged by a different standard because of the influence that a king has or a queen. So, hey, all that we was king stuff, it looks so stupid now on the surface, because we are realizing when we're looking at the kingdoms of the earth after the flood, when, the kingdoms began to form and Cain began to build cities. One of his first cities was named after his son, okay? And he had an Enoch, right? And I'm glad that Tina let us know there are two Enochs, okay? Just like the enemy loves to pervert, invert, and mimic, it's going to be two Enochs. So just, word to the wise. But this this is just something that is going to connect. So I chose these kings because they're from the I guess you could say the former empire of Benin and in Africa. So you can see where the Spanish, French, and all of these explorers come into these kingdoms all over the globe, the world realm, and they come in with nefarious intentions to usurp a throne or to take resources. It's no different than what they do today. Rinse and repeat and nation build and start to carve out the world according to their own wants. And they also begin to consolidate power. This is like Casino Royale. It really is, for the entire world. And so if we get to know the mindset of the Cain, the children of Cain, it'll start to make sense why we deal with what we have dealt with all of these, millennia. So you can just see how they're bowing down to the king of Benin, and that's an empire. And you can see that the kingdom of Benin, they were very amazing at bronze, metallurgy, crafting with bronze. So I wanted to show you some of their bronze reliefs that are, of course, in a museum somewhere in Europe, either in the British Museum or where else. You pick any museum, in the Louvre in Paris or somewhere, never in the country that they came from. So here we are to look at. I just want you to get an idea of the kingdom of Benin and just the craftsmanship. Okay, so just wanted to show you that. And then this is some more metals that they deal with. And we've talked about technology. We're in awe of their craftsmanship. We're wondering if they're supposed to be like the Flintstones and all of this kind of stuff. How did they do this? Like, can we see like an example of what type of tools you would use? Like, where do you get the tools? They didn't have Home Depot, so where did they get the machines to make the tools to do? You know what I'm saying, right? It's a lot of questions, right? The more you learn, the more you want to know. So here we are, just the kingdom of Benin. We're just taking a little trip. Look at the detail work. This is bronze. So, I mean, for you artisans out there, people who understand sculpture and art, you just let us know, like, could something like this be done today with these materials? Because we're so advanced. We've put a man on the moon, right? We've done all this stuff, and I'm just like, we could do this today. Can we repeat this today? Any of my artist family out there, let me know. Is this possible to repeat at this time? Just want to know, just asking. And then here we are, more of their work. The kingdom of Benin, or Benin, which would be near Nigeria, if anybody's wondering. I'd have to look for sure to see where exactly it would be over in that area. Hey, Juan, thanks for coming by. Juan's here, everybody. Thanks for joining us. The Nephilim showed them. Yes. But the thing is too, Julianne, it's still, I know, like, I'm still trying to get the Nephilim thing together. Okay. So if the Nephilim showed them how to make this stuff, wouldn't we at least have something like a workshop that the Nephilim work? Like, how did the Nephilim do this? Okay, so they're giants and everything. So they would have like giant tools and a giant workshop, and maybe we could still see like their workshop somewhere and some tools. I don't know. Am I just out on a limb here? I'm just saying we don't have anything to show us how they did this stuff. I'm just curious. Very, very. So let's go on to some more. Look at that. And another thing I want to notate is that when I look at these sculptures or, this metalwork, I see, and this is what I take from it, and tell me, like I always say, if you see something, say something. This is interactive. By all means, I learn from you. So they seem to be a warrior type of people. So we have to ask then, why are there so many wars? This is after the fall, when the world was supposed to be cleansed, right, from the flood. But now we have these, people trying to still do like, Tower of Babel 2.0. They're still at it, even though they got scrambled up and Pangea was divided up, the languages confused, as which means languages were divided too. So it was just it's just a question, because I have also come to understand that, of course, the Nephilim didn't just show them one thing. Just like the guy was saying, that the Nephilim, because they realized they were not going to be redeemed for their rebellion, so that just made them kind of like double down on rebellion. So now they want to, it's almost like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So the Nephilim see these humans, this human that just messed up big time, and he's got daddy issues, because that runs through the whole human drama, is daddy issues big time. So Cain is not forgiven for murdering his brother. So now he's estranged from his family. So that's going to make him more embittered. And now he has pretty much fused his spirit to something dark, which is only going to make him more of a narcissist. It's everybody else's fault. You ran into my knife, I didn't really stab you. Alec Baldwin shooting somebody at work and trying to blame it on everybody else. Okay, this is a narcissist that we're talking about, somebody who never ever ever takes responsibility, and they don't feel that they deserve consequences. They don't even understand consequences, a narcissist. So that's what we're dealing with. So the Nephilim now are going to teach the science of the sacred arts, which I've heard the term the 7 sacred arts. If anybody knows anything about that kind of stuff, let us know, because we talk the esoteric here. We're not like too scared to talk about this stuff. So the Nephilim, or Nephilim, however you say it, Nephilim, they taught these sacred things, like, of course, they taught mathematics and sciences. They taught things about medicines, herbs and things. They also taught martial arts. I hate to like put it out there. This is just something that, martial arts, we know, can be dark. It can be good to know it, of course. Yes. But that's something that comes out of military sciences. So if we hadn't, as children of our parents, our original parents, Adam and Eve, if you ascribe to that, if they hadn't rebelled in the garden, we wouldn't have these problems we know, right? So because of that rebellion, now we have to deal with things like warfare. We wouldn't have known the science of warfare. You wouldn't need to know it. So now warfare became something that the line of Cain learned from the fallen angels. So now when I look at, like I said, these cultures of warriors, I'm just saying, I'm questioning their influences and just where they are within the family of Cain, in other words. So that was, so let's look at a little architecture. Okay, so we're in the Benin Empire. So this is just a little, like, more rural architecture. So, sometimes we look at the things that are more ornate, but I like all the architecture, no matter, like, I love this. I can only imagine, like, if somebody had something like this as an Airbnb, can you imagine how amazing it might be to just spend time in something like this? You know, it's mud, and we talk about mud, you know, clay, mud, whatever you want to call it. But I'm just imagining how just amazing and peaceful it would be, just, you know, on a weekend, maybe a weekend. So here you are. Or no, I'm only kidding. I could do this, okay? I could totally do this. Hey Adam, how you doing? You know me, I'm being silly. Hey there. Hey, wait, who else is here? Who else? Rebecca, hello. Hi, love that you're here. Thank you. Girl Code, you're here. You like good, I'm glad. Oh my gosh. Oh, you are going to decode so much here. You're at work. Adam says, I'm at work, but I'm here. Shh. Adam's at work. Okay, so let's go through more. Okay, look at this. And I know you all really look at the shape of the heads and everything. So these would be the warriors. And I'm going to talk a bit more about, I'm going to go back to Queen Calafia. Calafia. But look at, this is out of the kingdom of Benin, the empire kingdom. Look at it. What do you think of when you see this bronze work? What do you think of? Robin, hello. You're in Perth? Oh my goodness. Thanks for joining, Robin, in Perth. Oh wow, it's bloody hot, she said. Thank you over in Perth. Oh, we have someone, a brother in Ireland. I'm so glad you're here, Joseph O'Sullivan. Everybody can blame Joseph for this obsession with this. He's the one that sparked this all off. Okay, so cone heads. Yes, I was expecting that. Yeah, so yeah, Chris says headhunters. Yeah, so it's like, what do you think? Oh, you had aunties that had these statues back in the day. Interesting. Wow, girl code, really? Yes, Roxanne. Benin is next to Nigeria. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Yes, elongated skulls. So we see that in certain areas. And here's another. Look at the detail work, like in this bronze. It is just, I'm blown away. And I know you all, some of you have heard of the Dogon tribes and things like that. I want to get into the Dogon because I was resistant to learning about the Dogon. I did, but then I don't know, it wasn't clicking, you know. But I had an uncle who always talked about the Dogon tribe. Everything was the Dogon, the Dogon. So I'm eventually going to get around to all these parts of the world, okay? So just hang on, okay? Teresita says Anunnaki. Anunnaki. Okay, so that's what you think. All right, so let's see more. Now, this was pretty telling, right? If you see something, say something. This is, he looks like an elder of Benin, the kingdom of Benin. Look at that. What do you think? What do you think? Pretty telling, right? And you see the man who's of average height for a modern man, and look at him next to this sculpture. Gonna take a little sip. And of course we have to talk about a little bit of the spiritual sciences of this particular area of the world. This is where you're going to get the voodoo, okay? And those religions, Yoruba, and things that pretty much it migrated out of that area and went into places like Brazil, like the Caribbean islands, such as, you have Cuba, you have lots of the islands that this science, this religious science, and of course Haiti. And then of course in through America, through Louisiana, birthplace of voodoo. There you are. Thank you, E Faith. I appreciate that for adding in anything. I appreciate you just sharing your knowledge. Okay. So that is something we're going to just, make a note of there. So, okay, let's talk about these Amazon warriors. Have you ever given much thought to what is the whole deal behind the Amazons? I never really paid attention to the origin of like, what is the deal with Amazons? So it's a lot of things in popular culture, of course, in entertainment, but look at the Amazons that came out of the Benin kingdom. Look at how big. Now we're talking about women here, okay? I'm not misgendering anyone, but these are women warriors, okay? So here's a photograph. So we know this had to have been taken in the 1800s at least, because so-called allegedly the camera was discovered, right? Invented. All of those fun words that they love to use. So these are women that the king of Benin, he enlisted and trained, had these women warriors trained. Okay. So they are from the Dahomey. So the third king of Dahomey, he was the one that taught his daughter, I guess it was his daughter, who was a queen. She had a female bodyguard. So when the European merchants were coming through on their expeditions, they needed to defend themselves, I guess. So this is the narrative. So a group of female warriors referred to as Mino, meaning our mothers, the older sister of the king, of the queen rather, this was an elite fighting force. So they were trained in military arts, and they were given a budget. And let's see. And basically they were called Amazons, referred to as Amazons. Okay. So let's see. Looking over just the women soldiers were rigorously, woo, that took a minute, trained and given uniforms. Let's see. They suffered many defeats, it says, but they were parallel to the king's bodyguards. And so they were just another counterpart. They were also huntresses, rifle women, reapers, archers, gunners. Okay. And they had, all of the fanfare. And it mentions rifles in the 19th century. So we're talking about Winchester rifles. They were very good at using. And they were at war because and captives were needed for the slave trade. So I'm trying to think, what are they trying to infer here? Were the women soldiers fought in slave raids? Oh, now that is interesting. I'm going to definitely put a pin in learning more about them, but I'm going to go on because it is very fascinating. Locked for life. Hey, just think we have women almost 7 feet tall even today. Over 6 feet is tall, period. Yeah, how about that? Exactly. That's right. So here they are. You can see the umbrella used because we see that a lot when we look at pictures of Ethiopians and the Orthodox, they have the very fancy umbrellas. I'm going to look into the whole umbrella issue and connect it another time, because I'm starting to see that it's something very much, it's a strong and powerful symbol that I'm seeing running through a lot of these kingdoms. If you have any knowledge of the umbrella symbolism, let us know. These are, mainly you see the men there, but these are the Amazon warrior women. And you can see here, I was shocked because when I first looked at the picture, I didn't look at what she was holding in her hand. But, I was just looking at, I don't know. I was like, oh, sometimes you don't see the detail. It's like, whoa, she's holding a head in her hand. She looks like she's nobody to mess with, right? So she is one of these warrior women. And it reminded me of Kali and the sort of group of women that are in a lot of the imagery of Kali. And you know about Kali, the goddess that you'll see in the more so over in India and those areas. So if you can make out the picture, Kali and her consorts, they're very tall. They look like giants in that particular picture because you see the smaller beings there. And you can even make out in the far right, there's a woman who has her mouth open and she has fangs like a vampire. Can you see that? And can anybody get that detail? But that's supposed to be Kali. So you see that, she's supposed to be the goddess of death, and they say, I think, resurrection or something like that. So, whoa, right? These are some tough chicks. Might not want to mess with them. So here's just a few more of those bronzes, and you can see the warrior women and just some of their headdress and just all of that fanfare. And then I wanted to, just go through a couple of museums. We're jumping over to Europe right now. We're going to look at how they portray these things like Amazon women. What do you think, family? This would be like, say, the British Museum, and they're showing us the Amazon women from Benin. What do you think? I'm just saying, if you see something, say something. Because at this point, it's just funny. It's just, oh, Dave says, I like tough chicks. I know, I've heard, Dave, that a lot of guys like chicks like that. They like dangerous chicks, right? That's why a lot of guys like, what is her name? Jolie, right? The Jolie girl. Because she played all those dangerous people, those spies and everything. So yeah, I hear guys that say they like crazy, like they like the cuckoo women. They're fun, right? MJ Rotundi, I hadn't seen you in a while. Thanks for checking in, hanging out with us here in cold Georgia, right? Isn't it cold here? So yes, right? Look at that. So that is and here are some more artist renderings of the Amazon woman fighting. Look at all the warfare, just warfare. Look at destruction. I want you all to just take this in, because this is the spirit of Cain. This is Cain's bloodline engaging in warfare, pillaging, plundering, killing. This is the line of Cain, so you don't get it twisted. This is their vibe all the way. Their vibe. She said the Bad Girls Club. You know what? I had to say, I watched the Bad Girls Club when it first came on, I think. The funniest thing was when that girl, I can't think of her name, but she was a black girl, and she was mad at everybody in the house, and she went to the kitchen and got the pots and pans, and it was early in the morning, and she went into everybody's room and she was just clanging the pots and pans. Crazy, okay? Just cuckoo. And some people love to live that way. Like everything is the bad girls club. Their whole life is literally the bad girls club. Like nothing but drama. So just know, yeah, look at that. These are Amazons, everyone, just in case you didn't know. I just wanted you to know what you were looking at. Amazons, okay? You're a little bit scared, aren't you? They look tough now. Don't mess with these chicks. They look like they would be like, oh my God, oh my God. Let's see. Tall people are impressive. Yes, tall people, as they say in our society, they've done studies and they say that tall people, especially tall men, tend to be, they say they do well in business. Most CEOs are tall men. I don't know. You could fact check me, but there are more Amazon women for you, a little more colorful. You kind of get the feel for how Amazon women were portrayed in popular culture. And this is just a watercolor of probably many people's maybe first encounter with the Amazon trope, I'll say, would be in the Wonder Woman character. So just so we know that the genesis of the Wonder Woman character comes out of the Amazon women from the kingdom of Benin, the elite fighting women. So that's where they got a lot of this. And then Calafia, the Queen Calafia, which we're going to go back to. Yeah. So, and oh, this looks funny. Oh my God. Okay. I don't know what movie this is from, but I thought it was just so super cheese and looks hilarious. You probably, if anybody knows what movie this is from, we won't judge you that you know this, but you could share. Let us know. Shira. Is it Shira? Is that the name of this movie? Shira? Shira. Oh my gosh. I know that cartoons are filled with this kind of stuff. So here is again this these warrior women one more time, just more. They're mixed in, because they would fight alongside the men too. And here's more of that trope from the Greek pantheon. And so I'm going to eventually tie in, the Greek and the Roman and how all of this stuff factors in. And as we look through these different historical narratives, but a lot of times, it's the archer, and they learn fencing. So they work with weaponry, and so these women are very skilled in weapons and warfare. So, you just have to think about the culture. Nothing is new under the sun. We are seeing that more and more because we have women warriors in our so-called modern times. And so here's just like a little breakdown of some characters and the Amazons and just some of the wars that they fought. So this is more from the Greek pantheon. So I just want to share that. And going back to the the women of Dahomey, the Dahomey kingdom, and the women warrior trope, or just all of that, can be seen in a few other cultures as well. So you can see it in the Ukraine, in Argentina, in Japan, Syria. And this was a more modern rendering of an Amazon woman. I don't know what movie or whatever this is from, but let's just go through our culture and see how they portray this trope. And I already know. Let me get a little swig of 1 minute. I already know you guys are going to start. I already know. Hold it. Hold on. Hold on. Just take it in. If you see something, say something. If you see something, say something. Thank you. Alrighty. So here we are. Amazons. And yes, we have lots of Amazon examples in our modern culture. I don't know. How do you all feel about women bodybuilders? Is that cool? Is that something you're into? Yay, nay? Do you think it's healthy? Do you think it's something that's healthy for someone in the long run? What do you think? What's that? People that get into this stuff, you can see how it just transforms their entire life, their mindset, and they pretty much are in their own sort of sub world because they tend to, pretty much be in their own bubble of a world of competition and working out and supplements, and they tend to know each other, and because they're into the health and all of that. But women being into this is just a kind of different thing. I've never quite been able to resonate with it, and not that I have to, but I'm just saying, it just, when I look at these images, it looks painful to me. I don't know, do you know what I mean? Like, it just looks like it hurts, like the body would hurt all the time, because I can't imagine laying down for a nice nap or something. Like, how does that feel? Like, I don't know. Like, what do you think? It's just, I'm just saying. Yeah, Teresita said, my spirit says no. Yeah, your spirit is saying the same thing my spirit is saying. No. And here are some examples of some very tall Amazonian types. And you can just see the difference in, wow. Have you ever seen any woman this tall? Because my family, we knew a family that had a daughter. She was maybe I'm thinking 6'3", 6'4", and she was really tall. And I can't imagine 6'8", a woman 6'8", but she has an Instagram page if anybody wants to follow her. Girl Code said Nephilim. You didn't call the girls Nephilims. Oh my God. I'm just saying, people, it's deep out here. It's deep out in these streets. It's a lot going on out here. I see a Russian bot. Let me get it out of here. Get out of here, Russian bot. I wish I could say it in Russian. I think I got rid of the bot. If I got rid of a friend accidentally. No, I got rid of. Yeah, I got it, Jim. Thanks. Yeah. So I guess there's a show where this couple is this something you've seen, a reality show with this super gigantic lady and kind of a little guy? I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm just, I'm reporting my findings. That's all. So, back to the Hollywood sort of trope of the Amazon, the warrior. And, we see it played out, the real cutesy girl that looks like she wears Uggs and drinks pumpkin lattes, and she's going to kick every guy's butt, right? She's so tough. Every time you turn on anything, it's got to have a super tough woman. And then all the guys they portray are just like, what It's a reversal, right? So the women are always the heroes and they're always the most intelligent, and then they portray the men as dumb, especially if it's a white man, like a heterosexual white man. He's always going to be bumbling, and everybody's smarter than him in the movie, like the dog's smarter than him, the kids are smarter than him, right? Have you noticed that? So that's Hollywood, okay? And we see it. Just know we see it. We see the clown show going on. And lots of examples in the cartoons as well. I just don't know, everyone. Just interesting. Now, this example, I want you to just note the flying, whatever you want to call those, flying horses. What do you want to, Pegasus, whatever. But remember those flying things, because that's going to relate to something else with Calafia. So here are some more tough girls, tough chicks. I don't think you don't want to upset any of these chicks here. This is not the tree you want to bark up. So here we are, more tough girls. Tough girls. They've got their armor on and they're tired of the patriarchy. They're there to crush the patriarchy. Look at that. Uh-oh. She looks like she can single-handedly crush the patriarchy. Look at that. And keep all of her contouring and makeup in place while she's crushing the patriarchy. And yeah. I just like this kind of stuff is so funny. Like the campy kind of cornball stuff, just hilarious to watch it. Like the stuff that they would do. Is this like from a Star Trek? Does anybody know? Because it looks like maybe Star Trek or something. Love it. The campier, the better. And we're back to the, warriors from Benin, Amazons, and Wonder Woman. So DC Comics got into the Amazon warrior. And you can see this one is a scholastic book for the children. Get those children to think that way, right? To know history according to them. More Wonder Woman. I mean, we could break down all the details of Wonder Woman. I'm just doing a gloss right now because I'm going to circle back to a lot of these things because I can just see, yes, Locked for Life. Yeah, Charlie's Angels. Yeah, I did a live stream about that like last year. It was taken down, of course. I think I may have it backed up on Rumble. But when I was growing up, the Wonder Woman that I watched was Linda Carter on the right. So yeah, they have all these other Wonder Womans. That's the thing about Hollywood. I've said it before. They have no more, they've run out of creative juice. They don't have anything going on. They have to keep going back and recycling leftovers and it's just crazy at this point. They have nothing new going on. So now, of course, the Amazon women have gone woke, okay? You have diversity and inclusion. So you're going to have all body shapes, all colors, creeds, everything represented, because you can't leave anyone out, right? This is diversity and inclusion, you racists. Look at this. Tough women. Look at her. Look at the girl fighting the guy. I mean, it's just crazy, right? Look at her. And, young women buy into this kind of stuff. And, they really think they could fight a man physically. Well, I don't know. Nowadays, with all the stuff that they eat, they might be able to do it. But, I mean, and then I haven't seen the Wonder Woman movie. I'm not gonna see it. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's anything I could probably glean from it. Let me know. Do you think I should watch it? Do you think it has some good research information for research purposes? But I don't know. I don't think I could. I think it jumped the shark. Let me know. So this is, I guess, a scene from that Wonder Woman 1984. What do you all think? Yay, nay? Anybody seen that one? And of course, so much merchandise for children, really getting to the little girl's psyche. So they really, love the Wonder Woman trope. And even big girls, you'll see on Halloween or whatever, grown women dressed up as Wonder Woman. Yeah. If you dress up as Wonder Woman, let us know. Let us know. And we talked about this the last live stream. Again, I love how we all catch stuff. Like, before I had even done another slide about it, I had, of course, like, thought about the Flintstones when I learned about the Royal Antediluvian Buffalo Society, a Masonic brotherhood fraternity. So this is funny because they gear this towards children. And that's the thing about all of this, that people that hate for us to bring this stuff up, it's okay. Okay, if you want to have your lodge and your all this other stuff and you claim that this stuff is good and, noble, why do children have to be inundated with this messaging? I don't see a reason why this should have to be included in a cartoon. So here I'm growing up watching the Flintstones, and I didn't know I was being, initiated into sort of this kind of, like, what I'm saying, propaganda, whatever it is. Like, they are in this, whatever secret society, and they do secret handshakes and hand signs, and then the women are into their women's Mason group. So you see how it's indoctrination. I don't see another, like, somebody who's a Mason. I'd love to know how they could spin this and tell us how it's good, right? Everything I'm seeing, I don't see. So yeah, you see it here. The Water Buffalo Lodge, the Loyal Order of Dinosaurs, and then the Loyal Order of Water Buffalo. So that's like 3 different lodges. So I don't know. I'm just saying, yeah, the Grand Poobah, right? Exactly, right? The Ladies of the Nile, exactly. They have all the women's, and then they have something like the Sheba. So I'm going to talk about that another time. I came across that one. Yeah. So it's just so much. And so here is the warrior trope, the Amazon trope that was done in the Black Panther movie as, Wakanda and all of that. So they had the special forces of these elite fighting women, and I never saw Black Panther, so I didn't get to see this play out. Did anybody see that movie, Black Panther? And so here's another picture of the Amazon warriors. And Lupita Nyong'o, excuse me, Nyong'o, if I'm saying that right. Lupita, as you would probably recognize her face, popular actress. I see a little, I didn't pick that up. Look at her little scarf there, little animal print there, lots going on. So Lupita, if you didn't know, she is actually Mexican, born in Mexico, but maybe she was born in Kenya. and raised in Mexico. So she has ties to Mexico, which is interesting. And she plays in that particular movie as a warrior woman as well. So you get to see like how the frequency, the vibe is like, it's very aggressive, very warrior, just this energy. I don't like it in women. I don't like this whatever this is. I personally don't like it. The anger, and it screams violence. It's not so much about, I mean, I could understand defense and stuff, but this seems more warfare. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into it wrong, but I don't like it. I just don't. Now, Queen Calafia. This is deep, okay? Ready, everybody? We're going to get into her now. You're hanging out with me. Yes, Juan, exactly. I don't want to do warfare and learn all these things. It's just, yeah, Sean, it's been cringy to you too. I'm like, yeah, right? You said I'm scared. Buckle in, buckle in. But your drink's down. No, I'm only kidding. It's not going to be crazy. Well, depends. Okay, it's up to you to decide. Okay, we're going to get into Queen Calafia. Ready? Uh-oh. I hope you're my friend after this. Okay, Queen Calafia. She is a fictional queen of the island of California, first introduced by 16th century poet Garcia Rodriguez de Montalvo in his epic novel of chivalry in The Adventures of Esplandian. It was written around 1510. The Californias, a region of North America encompassing the U.S. state of California and the Mexican states of Baja California and Baja California Sur. So I want to just say this right now because this was very humbling to me. And if anybody out there is of Mexican origin, I want to put this out here for us to consider, okay? Because we're all realizing that we have been lied to about everything. So if we don't understand history, we're learning that all of this stuff just doesn't make sense. So why is it that we would accept the boundaries and everything that they call a country, a nation? Because what I'm starting to feel like, and I've heard this many times, I've lived in Los Angeles. I have lots of friends that are Mexican, and, we have had conversations. And basically, a lot of people would say that all of this was one landmass, right? We've heard about Turtle Island, Pangea, things like that. And I don't trust the maps that they tell us are so. I don't believe them. So if Mexico and Central America and North America, including Canada, is all one landmass, then I'm almost speechless, because that makes everything change. It changes everything about even our defense of borders. I'm not saying that I've changed everybody, so don't think that I'm going really cuckoo out here and saying open borders and all that. We have to come up with something that is so much more, comprehensive than what we even thought. But if Mexico and Central America and all of these are the Americas, then we have a lot. Houston, we have a problem. So Queen Calafia. Now check this out, everybody. Get ready. Okay. Take their name. All of these California states, it's called the Californias with an S. The US state of California and the Mexican states of California. And they take their name from Calafia and her kingdom. In a novel, Calafia is a pagan warrior queen who ruled over a kingdom of black women. Uh-oh. The numbers are going to go down. Okay. I'm going to repeat that, everybody. Yes, that's what I said. A warrior queen who ruled over a kingdom of black women living on the island of California, an island off of the coast of, it says, Asia. So Calafia is convinced to raise an army of women warriors and sail away from California with a large flock of trained griffins. No, I'm not tripping. I'm kicking the wiki. So that she can join a Muslim battle against Christians who are defending Constantinople. In the siege, the griffins harm enemy and friendly forces. So the griffins are out of control. They're like flying monkeys. They're killing friends and foes, okay? Only a black woman would have trained griffins, and they're killing everybody. No, I'm only kidding. Only kidding. This is a crazy story, okay? Oh my goodness. Are you ready? This is how I kind of envision Calafia, okay? Let me have my creative visions here. Okay, so she's headed off with a bunch of crazy flying griffins and all of these black warrior women to go fight Christians. And she's joining with Muslims, it says, to defend Constantinople. Okay, so whoa. So where did I pick up? So in the siege, I told you about the griffins. They're killing everybody. So she has to pull the griffins out of the battle because they're killing everybody and put them back in, I don't know, a boat somewhere where the griffins, she's got a place to keep the griffins, okay? So then the griffins are put up, and then Calafia and her ally, Rodero fight in single combat, okay? This is how badass she is. She's fighting in single combat. And it says that the Christian leaders, a king and his son, the knight Esplandian, Calafia is bested and taken prisoner, and she converts to Christianity. She marries a cousin of Esplandian and returns with her army to California for further adventures. Now, I want to put a note in the fact that they say adventures, because that is what California is marketed as, a place of adventure. Have you noticed that if a commercial would come on and they're talking about coming to visit California, you know, like a tourist thing, and they say everything is adventure, California adventure. They even have a park there, part of Disney, called California Adventure. So I want you to just notate that this is what Calafia, the Queen of California, is supposed to be about, adventure. So that's interesting. The name Calafia or Calafia, I'm just going to say it all kinds of ways. So just let me do it until I learn better. Okay. It's likely formed from the Arabic word Khalifa, which means a religious state leader, that is known as a caliph in English, Khalifa in Spanish. Similarly, the name of Calafia's realm is California. So everybody who talks about different spiritual principalities that are over various cities, this is kind of a clue I could be wrong, but it's sort of telling us what is the principality that is over that area, because it's saying that is her realm, California. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, so that's her realm. So California likely originated from the same root fabricated by the author to remind the 16th century Spanish reader of the Reconquista, which means a period in history where in the Iberian Peninsula you had the expansion of the Christian kingdoms throughout Hispania. Okay, so I'll talk about that a little bit. A centuries-long fight between Christians and Muslims that had recently concluded in Spain. Okay, so the character of Calafia is used by Rodriguez de Montalvo to portray the superiority of chivalry, which chivalry is, I had to hit the hyperlink. Chivalry, or the chivalric code, is an informal and varying code of conduct developed between 1170 and 1220. It was associated with the medieval Christian institution of knighthood. Knights and gentlemen's behaviors were governed by chivalrous social codes. Okay. So he's saying they're saying in Wiki here that this author was portraying the superiority of chivalry, in which the attractive virgin queen is conquered and converted to Christian beliefs and married off. Okay. So she is depicted as the spirit of California in many modern day sculptures, paintings, stories, films. She is often figures as the myth of California's origin, symbolizing an untamed and bountiful land prior to European settlement. So have you ever? Pops is here. Well, hello, Pops. You're not late. Thank you for coming by. Thank you. So this is a shocker, I'm sure. And so these are her crazy griffins that she had out there killing everybody. Can you imagine? And remember, I told you to just look at that picture and you could see how they use the imagery in a lot of things. It was that rendering and you saw the flying. I didn't know if they were, what did we think they were? Like Pegasus or something? She said California always gave you the creeps. I know, right? Oh my goodness. Something very dark about it. So you can see more of the griffins. I don't know. Does anybody like griffins? Was your high school team the Griffins? So here's just more of that imagery of Calafia, Queen of California. Who knew? Who knew? Oh my goodness. I could say a lot right now, but I'm just saying without saying. Oh my goodness. Family. We're going to have a little talk, family. We're going to have that family meeting. Don't you think? Oh boy, look at this griffin. That kind of reminds me of like something you'd see on Harry Potter, right? Oh my, yes. Yes, right? Hey, Robin, what are you saying? Yep, round table meeting. Yes, we're going to have a real, and we'll have food, we'll have snacks. Can't have a meeting without that. So here's just some more imagery of Calafia. She's woo, chick that you don't want to mess with. Don't want to be on her bad side. more griffins that you see in the stone. So we could look at the Antiquitech and the whole, griffins that you see in Antiquitech a lot. Hey, Norleen, yay, hi, and fellow travelers. Right now, Norleen, I'm sorry, we're down in the Aztec empire that just fell. We just learned that Hernando Cortes, he put the kibosh on the whole entire Aztec empire. Okay. So yeah, they're done. Thanks to Mr. Cortes. So I had to cover her boobs, okay, because they had her all out there. But this is a picture of Calafia, Queen of California, and she's holding, if I didn't have to cover her boob up, she's holding gold. Okay. So, gold comes out of the California hills. So she's holding a big chunk of gold, and, the women on each side of her, they're, they're tough. There's some tough chicks. Now, this is in a hotel in San Francisco. This is somewhere, I'm maybe in the lobby of the hotel. If anybody knows this hotel in San Francisco, let us know if you've ever seen this this wall art of Queen Calafia of California, of the realm of California. So here's another picture of a griffin. Oh boy, you don't want to see this coming at you. This looks like it could pick up your dog and take your dog off somewhere. And I just want to don't be triggered, please. I know we have a lot of violence in our culture, but I'm bringing this up as an example of how suddenly it just seems like it's so popular to have women as these crazed, like, like the jokes they make, like, my girlfriend's an axe murderer, and that kind of stuff that they think is funny in our, this culture. It's like a lot of the entertainment is very dark, like one of my family members was watching that series called You, and I watched some of it with them because I was visiting, and I couldn't believe how violent that TV series was. But it just, goes to show you that there's a spirit, and I'm tying together some things because we're looking at that Aztec Mayan empire. And when you look at the temples, and we learn that they did a lot of human sacrifices, and, just lots of animal and human sacrifices. When you look over at some of the religions, like we brought up, and, this may step on toes, but the voodoo, there's a lot of animal sacrifice there. Even the singer, what is her name? You all know who I'm talking about. She's really not well in the head. Azalea Banks. Okay, Azalea Banks recently, maybe a couple years ago, she showed a live stream of her. She had a closet in her apartment in Los Angeles where she had to sandblast a closet that she was using for her voodoo ceremonies and things, whatever else Palo or whatever system that she was into. But she had chicken blood. It was all on the walls of this closet. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And she had been using this closet for at least a couple years, at least, and just killing chickens and doing rituals. Yeah, Azalea Banks. You know what I'm talking about. Do you remember when she filmed and showed everybody like her closet where she was doing these voodoo rituals, killing animals? So the killing and shedding of blood is something that we see is very, in certain cities, it's very concentrated. And so now it makes sense that some of these the line of Cain, when he went down into this area of the world and went down to live and survive the flood. This is where a lot of bloodshed and wars and this is, I'll talk a little bit more about it. Yeah, but I see some really crazy connections. She killed her own cat. Really sick. And I mean, it was a time when I was defending a lot of religions, especially things that came out of Africa, the ancestor worship. I lived in Cuba as a little girl, so the Santeria and the things like that. But I absolutely cannot stand by anything like that now. I just can't. And many reasons why. So I'm not going to get into the whole thing about in the Indian pantheon, we have Kali and the tongue, and that a lot of people in entertainment, they stick their tongue out and we think they're just doing it. They may not even understand why they're doing it. But with Kali, there's something that comes out of that system where they have a group of people called thuggies. Has anybody ever heard of a thuggy? So a thuggy is somebody that just goes around just doing crime, just like you would think of a thug. So this is where the origin of thug comes from, thuggies. So you have Tupac Shakur. Now check this connection that I'm making right now. You have Tupac Shakur, who famously had the tattoo, or has, for those that believe he's still alive, but thug life on his little bird chest. And he represents that kind of energy. He died by the sword. He was a real one, kept it real, and there's a lot about him that I'm going to get into, I'm sure, another time. I'll circle back to Tupac. But again, his name, Amaru, Tupac Amaru, if you look up the definition of Amaru, it means America. His mother named him Amaru because of the revolutionaries that were in Central America. But Amaru is the root of the name America. So his middle name literally means America. So thug life, America. Okay, bloodshed in our cities. And the cities were built by Cain's children. That's why we have sanctuary cities. Do you see the connection? It's just so many connections. Roxanne knows about thuggies. Were East Indian mercenaries who did murder for hire. Thank you. So these are thuggies. So of course, the whole, right now, the whole area of Russia, or if you want to say Gog and Magog, if you did studies in eschatology, there is a rise in that empire. And, we're going to talk more about them, but I want to just put a pin in this as well, because I do put pins in a lot of different subjects that I circle back to eventually. But I'm going to go into the whole Russian, Tartarian, Caspian, the Caucasus Mountains and the regions over there. So just give me time to do that research. But I just wanted to just, basically let you know that that Gog and Magog is rising. So here we are with the whole Wonder Woman thing. Now, do you see similarities now that I showed you Queen Calafia? If you look at Wonder Woman's that back thing that she has, it looks like Queen Calafia, the Amazon. Tina said not to be confused with Huggies. Yes, we're not confusing thuggies with Huggies. I love it. We got to have fun with this, right? Hey, Abe, thanks for joining. Night class is in session. You can come, you can smoke, you can drink, you can lay in bed, you can watch TV, you can do whatever you want. Pay attention if you want. So here we are. This reminded me again. I'm going to keep circling back and making connections to Metropolis. So we have Metropolis, and this gives me the imagery of transhumanism. This is Wonder Woman 1984. Okay, so if we haven't jumped the shark yet, I mean, we have jumped so many sharks at this point. So yeah, you have a human merged with a machine. Okay, the Munchin man. What do they call it? Machine man. What do the Germans call it? Machine men. Mission machine minch. So yeah, it's again, I'm going to bring up the treatment to the animal kingdom done by humans, or we're going to say humankind, mankind. The line of Cain is really into hunting. I don't know, not for need, but for sport. And I'm not going to get into a debate about hunting because I can't talk about things like that. I'd be a hypocrite because I'm not a vegan or vegetarian. I eat meat. So, it's being murdered, it's being slaughtered, but when you start doing this Noah's flood ark kind of study, and you realize how all the kingdoms have been usurped, and all of the things that have happened to the people, the animals are it's a kingdom that can be forgotten when it comes to this human drama. But the animals have been treated so it's no word for the abuse. It is so horrible, and it breaks the heart of the creator. And you can see here the poachers and things, and they're over there getting, rhinoceros horns and elephant tusks and all of these things, and ivory and all of that. And whether people want to believe it or not, there is a cost and a consequence to how the animal kingdom has been treated, and there has to be some justice. So I don't know, how do you all think justice will come for the animal kingdom? Do you believe that they are going to get justice for all of this pillage and murder? You think about voodoo in Benin, and you can see all the animal carcasses and skulls, and that people buy them just for ceremonial reasons. But it's just something about it. When you start to think about it, you see little skins of cats over there. You see all kinds of things that people use in these ceremonies. And my question is, what inspires this? I see even a hippopotamus head there. It's just, what's the spirit, And I name this part Mexico. You got some splaining to do. Mexico, you got some splaining to do. You guys ready? This is where I'm going to tell you to put your drinks down now. Put your drinks down. We're about to hit a little turbulence on this part of the flight. Who likes black beans and rice? Anybody out there love black beans? Some frijoles negrescents. Okay, remember, don't think that I forgot my word, negrescents. All right, we're going to go and look at some artwork. Okay, this is a doozy. Okay, we're still down there in Mexico. We're in the land of the former Aztec Empire. We know that who's that destroyed it? Hernando Cortes. They said he ended the Aztec Empire. So what's going on here, Mexico? I'm seeing in this picture I'm seeing something. If you see something, say something. But I see some people in this picture and I'm just wondering what's happening. What's going on, Mexico? What's good? Here's some more artwork. Mexico, mulatas. They're using the word mulatas, negra, mulata. See some. Wait a minute. That Spanish conquistador explorer looks like he's exploring where he shouldn't be. Kind of handsy, a little bit handsy. I'm not really. I don't like that. But what do you think? If you see something, say something. Just saying. Definitely prayer, the ultimate medication. That's right, it is. So this artwork, what are you thinking, fam, when you look at this? What do you Uma says, "Oh no, I like rice, no black beans." That's okay. No black beans for you. I'll take your black beans. I love them. Yeah, so isn't this a little cringe, this artwork? So I want to explain because this is a little bit small, but remember I talked about caste systems. I think I've located the ones that may have started the first caste systems. It would be the Spanish conquistador kind of people. So you have a whole, look at this, cast of colors and shades. So you have the mestizo, Espanol, the mulatto, the morizo, the chino. You have, I can't make out some of these others, but look at all of this they have going on here. So this is like a whole cast. More of the artwork with the negra, mulatto, it says in the picture there. So what I'm picking up on, and tell me if you've ever heard of this, where you have, well, I showed you the other day, remember I showed you the artwork where they were showing the black grandmother and her mulatta daughter, quadroon baby, grandchild, and white son-in-law. And it was called blanqueamiento. Did I say it right? Blanqueamente. And so they would have children with the melanated women and have mulatto, as that's the name that they call the children. You all are very aware of that by now, mulatto. So when the Spanish conquistadors created children with the melanated women, I heard a report that if they accepted the child according to how the child looked, maybe if the child was more, had more white features, could pass for white, they would give the child their name and they would, be in the child's life as their father. So this may be possibly why you see a lot of the colorism the way it is in the Latin American countries, such as in Central South America. They have an issue with sometimes these issues that we have in the Black community here. I mean, it's crazy all across the world where you have melanated people. And if there's mixing, it shouldn't be a big deal, but we know that they've made this a big deal so they could use it to have us divided over race. So it's really, you can just see how it all plays out. And here's more of it in their artwork. So, I'm not the one making it a big deal. It is a documented thing. And if you are Latin American, if you're Latino, whatever you go by, you could probably speak to this, or you definitely know what I'm talking about. It is an issue. So here you see it right here playing out more in the artwork. And, of course, all the high drama The woman, she's like, I don't want your flowers, Ricardo. You didn't come and see your child last 2 visits. Where have you been? He's been sailing the high seas, honey. He's been visiting ladies in Cuba, everywhere. He's got families all over the place, right? She thinks that he's just her boo. But yeah, these were Rolling Stones. So look at that. De mulata y español morica. Morif, whatever. I can't make that. But morena, you hear that a lot. Morena. These kind of, and I wanted to mention this again. I showed this picture one more time of the 19th century Aztec couple. It says 19th century portrait of Aztec couple, a Mexican tribe now practically extinct. Okay. And then you see here, this is one of those Society of Jesus pins. Some of the people that go into these empires. And suddenly you see a friar, a bishop, or somebody over there from the Catholic Church, the Jesuits, and they're baptizing the Aztec people. But you can see how they look, right? The Aztec people look in the paintings. But there you go. They're baptizing them and converting them to Catholicism. Isn't that convenient how that happens? Just saying. So this is what I want to say. Mexico, you got some explaining to do, because I don't know if a lot of people know about this, Mexico, but these are Mexicans right here. If you see something, say something. Blanca miento is whitening. And for anybody who's new to the blanqueamiento, it is believed that, now I tied the Mormon church to being some of the propagators of the belief system that Black people are cursed as the tribe of of Ham. So because of what Ham did to his father Noah, they believe that it was a curse of Blackness. So they had ascribed that all Black people are cursed by God and are part of the children of Ham. So they didn't allow Black people in the church, the Mormon church, for many years. They just started allowing Black people to be Mormons. This is new. And it is in their writings, so they can't hide this. It's been documented, and people that have come away from the religion have even confirmed that the Mormons believe this about Black people. So I'm just saying, then you have this belief that is now prevalent in the Caribbean and different places, Nigeria, and places like in Central and South America, where they believe in whitening your bloodline. And the more white you make it, the better and more godly. You're cleaning you're taking the curse away from Ham, the Ham curse. So I'm just saying, this stuff really comes out of something. It has its origins. You never heard that? Yeah, it's crazy, right? Chicken salad time. Is it chicken salad time? I didn't know it was. Okay, so here we are. These are Mexicans. I was waiting for somebody to see something, say something. Do these look like the Mexicans that you kind of know, or what? I'm waiting, family. I'm waiting for you to say something. See something. Say something. What do you... Anybody? You guys are being shy. All right, so here we go. Let's go and look at more. Mexico, you got some explaining to do. If you see something, say something. What's going on here? These are Mexican people. Is this what you see when you think of Mexican people? I don't know. I'm just asking. Asking? Anybody? You guys are quiet. A little quiet. But I'm just showing you Mexican faces here. And let's look at some architecture in between. Look at that. Baja, California. What do you think? What does it make you think of? Anybody? Somebody said passes, so you didn't want to say. See, I love Tina. She's not afraid. She said black. That's right, sis. Black. You saw some black Mexicans. Did you know that they have black Mexicans? Anybody know? Because this is a new thing for some people. They didn't know that there were black Mexicans, right? I know it shouldn't matter. I'm only doing this. We thinking of the same thing. I'm only doing this. Listen, I'm going to do this race thing till the wheels fall off. You know why? Because this is one of the biggest constructs that I want to be a part of destroying. Just like they demolish, like I said, the old architecture, they demolish it. I want to be part of the demolition team that demolishes their race construct because it's not true. So I'm going to have to talk about this stuff even though it makes people uncomfortable. We just have to get comfortable with it because this is how we get it exposed. And anybody who is still on the race thing, they will be ashamed of themselves after a while because of all this stuff that's starting to come out. It's like we've all been duped. We've all been played when it comes to this race thing. And we need to get off of it very quickly. And that's why I'm going to stay on the race thing till the wheels fall off, pops. I want to destroy it as much as I can, okay? Yes. Let the wheels fall off of it so we can unite finally. So here we are, more Mexicans. Is this what you think of when you think of Mexicans? Well, let me just tell you, there are some black Mexicans that basically, let me tell you about them. They call them Afro-Mexicans. So they're Mexicanos negros, okay? Negrescents. So they're saying that they were brought to Mexico, which I don't know so much. We'll have to look into that. We'll have to table that. But they are just recently being accepted into all parts of society in Mexico. So that's why I said, Mexico, you have some splaining to do, because this is something that, you know, a lot of people have hidden some of their treatment of people, and this stuff is being exposed. And it's a lot of bad treatment that goes on in places like China, you know, with their Muslim, you know, the Uyghurs and things that are happening. It's just a lot of stuff that needs to be exposed. So it says that the history of the Africans, they call them Africans in Mexico, has been lesser known for a number of reasons, including nigrophobia. Did you know there was something called nigrophobia? Yeah, that's what they're saying is a reason why we don't know a lot about Afro-Mexicans. Okay, so it also says that mestizo means mixed, and it's a mix of Spanish and native Mexican. They're just given some of the caste. Mexico has a caste system known as casta. Casta. Casta is a term which means lineage in Spanish and Portuguese and has historically been used as a racial and social identifier. Okay, so they have a casta. And Hernando Cortes and his group of explorers have a lot to do with a lot of this. Okay, so we're going to put it right in his camp. So he was, up to shenanigans, racial shenanigans. So here is a nice picture of the area of the world that we're talking about, the realm of Queen Califa's kingdom, so-called, allegedly. So what do you think? Has anybody ever been to Baja, California, this area, or the Aztec? I know somebody said they had seen the ruins in, where was it? Chichen Itza, the pyramids, more black people, more black Mexicans. I know you guys are probably going to laugh at the one over there, but she is a black Mexican. I'm just saying, okay? I don't know what she's up to these days, but that's Dame Dash's cousin, Stacy. Remember her from what was it? She was Cher in that movie. What was the movie that she was in? Anybody? Come on, my people. You all know all this stuff. I'm going to be looking at my notes here, taking a little drink of water. Black Mexicans, everybody. Who knew? Who knew about it? I want to know who knew. Anybody know the movie? What am I trying to think of? The movie. Cynthia, you like this? Isn't it eye-opening, Cynthia? Something we needed to talk about, right? Mo Money. She was in Mo Money. That's not the one I'm thinking of. Hey, One Take. Hey. So she was in Mo Money. No, I'm thinking of the other one that she was in where she played that character called Cher. Remember? It was like not Pretty in Pink. Come on, you all know. It'll come to me. More Money. That's the one. It was Reese Witherspoon in it with her. Anybody remember that one? So here's some more Antiquitech in that part of the world. What do you think? What do you think about this architecture? What comes to mind when you see this It's more like, what would you call it? I have a word that I kind of think of. Clueless. Legally Blonde. That's it. Legally Blonde. That's the one. Yep. Thank you. Mall Chicks. They do remind me of that, Sean. So what do you think of with this architecture? Anybody? Yeah, Tina, it was Legally Blonde. I couldn't think of it for some reason. Uma says, my son-in-law's Mexican. Oh, wow, cool. More Mexicans. Look at that. Wow. I sure hope that they get the love, not hidden anymore. I like that they are starting to be recognized, in terms of being a part of Mexico and having, a part in the culture. Norlene said it looks like an old church, the Tartarians again. Yep. Here's some more. Oh boy. You see something, say something. Yeah, wow. Houston, we've got some negrescence there. Black grandma. Remember I told you the story of my friend who I thought was white for the most part, and she took me to the side and showed me a picture of a black woman with an afro, and she was like, Jennifer, it just makes me laugh because she was like telling me this like it was a big secret. She was like, look at this. I'm like, cool afro. Wow. The woman looked she looked regal, sitting there with her afro, older woman. And she let me know, she said, this is my grandmother. And I was like, okay, she's whispering, in secret, telling me she has a black grandmother. So I just want to say something about that. And, we can have fun with it. I was watching he's new to me, a new podcaster. Okay. Now I watched some of his older stuff, right? So, with men, their hair grows fast. It changes real fast. So he had his hair cut really low, like a buzz cut. So, I didn't know he looks like a white guy, had a cool beard, and he was real knowledgeable. So I'm just, chilling, watching him. So it was something that he said that was interesting because he was talking about the racism and the things that are going on in our, culture right now, and how white men are just hated so much from so many sectors of the of society. And he was saying, people have to be careful judging people because he said something about, I'm trying to remember how he said it. He said there are different kinds of white, not all white is the same, or something like that. And I was like, I wonder what he was talking about, not all white. I just wasn't clicked into what he was saying at the time. So then now I watch another video and I see him, and you know how, like, I'll have my hair down sometimes, I have him in the Princess Leia buns, whatever. So his hair had grown out, and let me tell you something, he had some textured curls all over the top of his head, textured curls. And I looked and I said, oh, I see what he meant by not all white is is not all white. Okay. So what I'm saying by saying this, if you could hear what I'm saying, a lot of white people are passing, whatever you would call that, passing. I don't know why it's even a thing, but we're using these terms right now until we can get past this race stuff. It's going to take some time. We've got to have the uncomfortable conversations so we can get past it. But what I saw in his example of, I see him 1 minute, his hair is buzzed down. You can't tell anything, that he just looks like a white guy. Then the next time I see him, he's got long curls that were textured. So what I am saying is, if you shake the family tree, grandma might be black. I hate to tell you, this might ruin dinner. Hello, waiter. Waiter, we're going to have to take this food to go, okay? Because I think family dinner's messed up. Hello, kids. I have something to tell you. Grandma is black. I'm sorry, okay? Sorry. Great grandma's black, okay? I don't know how you feel if somebody had to tell you that. Would that ruin your world if you found out great grandma is black? Would that really ruin your whole identity? Because that happens to be what is the actual fact with a lot of white people, is that, and I worked with a white guy, and I wouldn't have thought anything. He was cool. Sometimes the cool white guy, he knows all the slang and everything. Well, one day he whispers to me too. He says, Jennifer, my grandmom is black. And I was like, whoa, whoa. I did not expect that. He looked like a white guy. I'm telling you, usually I could tell a little bit, like, I don't get fooled. I can tell if you got a little bit of swirl in you. It's just something to you. Got a little bit of something, little spice to you, right? No, I didn't expect this from him when he told me his grandma was black. So yeah, okay, grandma's black, everybody. Great grandma's black. Okay, might have to deal with some of this kind of stuff coming out. This is disclosure, okay? Grandma's black. How do you feel? So this is the case with a lot of people in Central, South American, Caribbean, whatever else you want to say. Grandma's black. We got imitation of life going on. Sometimes people they're not good with that, having a black grandma somewhere down there, okay? But it happens with some of you. Some of you, this is going to be your family story. I'm just letting you know so you can get prepared when you learn this, okay? And yeah, let's go and look at some more beauty in that area. Queen Calafia's realm. Has anybody ever been to this part of the world? Abe said disclosure has a whole new meaning now. Yes, it does. Remember, I told you, Abe? I said, I'm going to get down to the bottom of negrescence. I'm going to find out what negrescence is all about on the esoteric realm. And I just came up with it. Grandma is black. You've been passing for white, but grandma and great grandma are black. So guess what? It doesn't matter. That's my whole point, is that if a lot of you are all swirled up and you got some kind of black mama, you got a black mammy somewhere, then why are we tripping? Why are we tripping? I'm just saying. It's going to become ridiculous after a while, because these people that lived in the pre-flood antediluvian world, they weren't caught up on this stuff. This is a new construct that we have to totally destroy it. We have to. Girl Code said mitochondrial DNA, every human is melanated. Yeah, I mean, that's also out there too as a school of thought, And here we are with more negrescence there in Mexico. Hello, throw a fried chicken taco in the chatmosphere if you see something. I'm just saying, throw a chicken taco down there. Something. Let's have some fun. Esoteric negrescence. Now I've heard it all. You knew I was going to come up with something crazy. I need to write a book, okay? My book is going to be about how I found negrescence, and I found the timeline and saw why they did what they did. I'm going to figure it out. I'm still working on some theories, okay? But these are Mexicans, everybody. These are Mexicans. So Mexico, you got some splaining to do. Yes, you do. Okay? I'm just saying. More of the beautiful Marlon says grandma was a swirl girl. Right, Kate? It's not everybody's story, but it's going to be some. I'm just letting you know, you may find this out and you may have to come to terms with it. That grandma, great grandma, is black. Yes, look at that. Beautiful, right? And I used to like this guy a lot. I don't know how I feel about any of these people anymore, but I just really love Nipsey for a while there. I have to reevaluate everything. Everything's on the table. But Nipsey had a video, if anybody knows about his video, Victory Lap, where he was over in the kingdom of, or I guess you would say the queendom of Calafia, the Amazon. So he filmed Victory Lap over there. Now there was something that I saw in the video, because I've watched the video a few times, but there was like this one time I watched it, and I'm telling you all, I picked up on something in the spirit that if anybody knows this particular video where he's on a boat riding, and he, you'll know the words and everything to this song where he's over in Tulum, and with the ruins over in Tulum, and he says, no, it's not that he says it. When he leaves from the boat, if I'm remembering it right, then he winds up back. It's almost like his spirit or whatever it was, like, went right back to Los Angeles, right back to that area, Crenshaw. And it was almost like it showed me that there was this returning of, it was some kind of spiritual portal. That's what it was. It was like a portal I was picking up on. And it was hard to explain it then, but now I understand it was something to it. And you can even look at his shirt and what he's wearing. Everything has a meaning. You know, he's Aramis. Why am I forgetting? He is Ethiopian, so he is of Ethiopian bloodline. I don't know a lot about his bloodline. I haven't done a deep thing on his bloodline, but I just think there's something very, very interesting to connect there. And, you know, something about, you know, when we were talking about like the type of violence and crime that is prevalent in that part of the world realm, like when you think about the border towns and some of the crimes that you hear about, like the really violent rape and Ermias. Yes, Ermias, that's right, Ermias, that's his name. Yeah. So again, so when you think of the Mexican gangs and you think of the violence that happens in the border towns, and good gracious, it really does like put a shiver through you just to think about like the prison system and the things that go on. It's just, it is really something that when you think about cleaning up the world, what would be the answer to ridding the world of all the warfare? Like I was showing you all the warfare, the violence, you know, the thug culture. And what would stop this? What would clean it up? I'm just asking. What would be the answer? Because it's pretty intense. So we're back to more art antiquitech. More of the ruins, the Mayan ruins and Aztec. Now I want for those that aren't aware, remember I told you about this particular thought that the line of Cain survived the flood, part of the line of Cain, not all of them, enough for them to get out and repopulate and do their thing. So the line of Cain went into the earth. So if anybody thinks that sounds crazy, you are looking at into the earth right now. And right in that area of the world that we're talking about, Queen Califia's area, her realm, they have underground whole system that you could get through many places, many places. So look at how deep underground this is. Has anybody ever visited there? So now this makes sense to me to put a visual to that theory that Cain and his, you know, whoever he took to survive the flood would go to that part of the world. Iguanas on the beach, anybody? Look at that, everybody. Isn't that something? Beneath the earth. And that's not even that deep beneath. Imagine some of the other caverns that go deeper. Just something to think about. And this is something that is on one of the beaches. And I just thought that is really, I don't know if I'd want to walk through there. Would you walk under there? I'm just saying. Yes, Julie. The underworld, the real underworld. There's a lot of underworld. Like when I've gone to places like in Egypt, I've gone down into their catacombs. So I've actually been down deep into some catacombs. So I know that that stuff is real. So whenever they were talking about this stuff, I've literally been in catacombs. So near Alexandria, Egypt. And here's some more Antiquitech. Now this is when Queen Calafia, the story goes that she left her area of the Californias, to go over to Constantinople to fight the Christians and to help the Muslims fight the Christians. So now we're going to take a look at, and I want to dedicate this to our sister Tracy. This is that part of the world where she comes from. And this piece of beautiful architecture is the Hagia Sophia. Anybody know about the Hagia Sophia? Hagia Sophia. Am I saying it right? Hagia Sophia. So if our sister Lisa's here, this is dedicated to her. Hagia Sophia. And you see the really pointed minarets and snowing. And here's some of the inside of the Hagia Sophia. And you can see the beautiful script that is on those, they're like circles you see on the walls, and they have the beautiful Islamic Arabic script, like calligraphy. I've always loved the Arabic calligraphy. So there is also a marble door. Like this is how elaborate. There's a whole marble door. You can see that to the right. I can't imagine how heavy a marble door would be. And so here's another view of the Hagia Sophia over in Turkey. And here's a little view of the inside. Look at those lamps. Pretty amazing, huh? And you could get a better view of the calligraphy. And just some old illustrations. I love looking at these old illustrations. They look pretty when people put these in frames. They're pretty. Pencil drawings or charcoal. We have some artists in here. Tell us what it is. Is it charcoal or something else? Girl Code said the early architect was so beautiful. Yes, sis. Isn't it just so, so beautiful? Hey, Anna Marie. Circle in a circle in a circle. Yes. So you see the domes, cupolas, and just all of that. You could see a lot of the detail work. This is one beautiful structure, I tell you. And again, I'm going to deal with this again in terms of the animal kingdom. But I just, when I looked at a lot of the pictures of the different wars that were fought, the different, the thing that really got to my heart is that horses have been used to fight so many wars. They have died in battle. And the horse has been such a dedicated companion to humanity, and they have worked way too hard and been abused too much. And there's going to be justice for the horse, just that one animal, the horse. and what the horse has done to help humanity. And God is watching. I'll just say that, because there is a lot of abuse that has happened, even with this lockdown and things like that. I know people that have rescued horses because people have just like, oh, it's a virus going around, and I'll just let the horses starve and I'm going to move somewhere. And they abandon horses, they leave them to starve and all kinds of things. But just to think that horses have been used for so many wars, things they have been drug into, that is such a violation. That is not what they were created to do. So I just want to say that that was like an offense that rose up in me just to see. It wasn't like I was looking at the people that were fighting, the warriors. I was looking at the horses, and I was offended for what they have had to go through. All the bloodshed. They've had to walk through blood. All I have to say is God is watching, and there has to be justice. There has to be. So now that I've said that, and I've kind of got us all on a little down mood, I have to make you laugh now. I just had to get that in, okay? That's right, Roxanne. Horses also sacrificed in many countries, yes. And in France, they eat horses, okay? Hate to say it for our French brothers and sisters. I don't like that. When I'm over, in those places, I would never eat this is just certain things, Don't eat dogs, you don't eat cats, you don't eat horses. I don't know. It's just, you don't eat dolphins. It's just something about it. It's just something about it. So I would like to get to the point where I don't eat any animals, right? No chicken, no anything. I don't know. I'm just starting to get back into I've been vegetarian and stuff off and on, but I'm just starting to think of the animals in a different way right now, everybody. So I'm going to stop the screen because I'm going to have to make us all kind of laugh. Just leave out on something light, okay? So what are you thinking of? Anybody pretty crazy, huh? I have a feeling I'm going to be talking about these things, especially like things like California, some of the things that go on in California right now, and just tie it in so we can understand like what happened. Los Angeles and Hollywood and all these things, these are really new places. This is all just created. Oh, you're asking what I'm drinking, Girl Code? I'm just drinking some water with honey and lemon. That's all. I heat it up and then I drink it until it becomes room temperature. I just sip on it all day. But yeah, so the LA, the Hollywood thing, I want to get into that a little bit more and tie in some loose ends. And then next I want to go over to, oh, this is what I wanted to say, because one of you did put in the comments that I'm going to eventually get to the Moors, and that's what's happening. I think this is a natural progression to study the Moors, the Moorish Empire, and the whole aspect of Cordoba, the Spain, Portugal, and that whole area, North Africa, all the way to America. So I want to just kind of give you a synopsis of this. I know this is a long video, but you could watch it in pieces, okay? So it looks like to me, the line of Cain survived the flood. I do believe that. I do see how that could happen. So they went underground to survive the flood, part of the line of Cain. And I'm sure Ham is, well, no, Ham already was out from the flood, but I'm talking about Cain, his line. So the Nephilim gave Cain the knowledge of building cities and helped Cain get his cities built. And America factors in very importantly to the plan, the overall plan to do the new Babylon, the new Tower of Babylon, to create the unified as we call new world order. So they needed America because America is not what we think it is in terms of the geography. Again, this is what I'm feeling, that Mexico, Central America, Canada, this is all one mass right here. And it's going to be complicated. I don't know how to deal with that stuff, but that's what I'm starting to think. And what else am I thinking? Okay, so America also factors in with the Mormons, because the Mormons, to me, and this may be offensive, but I see the Mormons' connection to Freemasonry to be very pivotal in the conversation of the Americas. So then you have, what else? Okay, they look at America as the new Babylon, the new promised land. There are a lot of things that they call it like the paradise of the land, of the earth. So America is seen that way. And I just want to look into more aspects of America and, how it is used by that group. So I want to play something just to make us kind of laugh, because some of that was maybe heavy, maybe traumatic to find out some things that could be possible that you might want to look into. But let's have a laugh, please. Let's have a laugh. You've probably seen this. This is one of the cutest things I've ever seen. Okay. Hilarious. When this came out, I couldn't stop watching it. Do you all remember this right here? Oh my gosh. It is super, super funny.
You're not influence me. I am my own person. I'm a strong black woman. You're not influence me. I am my own person. I'm a strong black woman.
I needed that, okay? You needed that. She said, I am a strong black woman. Let's listen to it one more time. One more time on our way out. Thank you, everybody. This is so cute to me, I swear.
You're not influence me. I am my own person. I'm a strong black woman.
The way she says it. Oh my gosh. I needed it so bad. I am a strong black woman. Bless her heart. All right, family. I want to thank you for another fun night class that went over into the next day. I'll be doing some more deep dives, okay? We'll be putting some things together. Did you like that, Ernestina? I am a strong black woman. I'm going to be giggling for a while. I love you all. Bless you. And again, as you know, as always, and thank you for your beautiful love gifts, or whatever you want to call it. If you want to tip your hostess, your crazy substitute teacher student, this is where you can do it. And I want to thank you, and bless you all. So we've been hanging out a while, and I'll keep this up on Facebook. Facebook. I guess Twitch. I'm still learning Twitch, how it stays up on Twitch. But thank you so much, Norlene, everybody. Girl Code, this has been so nice for you to be in the chatmosphere. So we'll have another doozy, okay? You know, I'm going to find more stuff. But there we are. Queen Calafia, Queen of California, is a black woman, a strong black woman. So what are you going to do about that? I don't know. Black women, I don't know. You might want to get out of California. I don't know how it's going out there for you. Kind of crazy, but you might want to start. If that's your realm out there, can you guys please pray to God to clean that place up? Okay, get together and please. Got to get Nancy Pelosi and her ilk out of there. It'll happen. All right, everybody. See you later and stay blessed. Love you.